Well, hello Podia friends, Brittany here. I am coming in hot with a tutorial today on editing your Podia blog page. I'm going to show you a couple tips and tricks to bring it to that next level so it's not your static blog listing page that we all have when we start posting. First thing I want to draw your attention to though is you'll notice at the top of my navigation, I actually don't have blog up here. So I am using blog as a means to grow my organic reach, grow my email list, all of the things that everybody's using their blog for, showing off client stories, but I don't necessarily need it to take up real estate in my main navigation. I want the focus to be on the 3 services I provide and people clicking the work with me or getting support and shop. I do, however, have it in my footer down here, which you can see. There's the blog with other pages that I don't necessarily need to take up space in the top of my menu. This doesn't mean that blog doesn't belong in the top of your menu, but it really depends on how long the names of your pages are and how many you want to have in order to make that decision. So I'm going to click to my blog page so you can see what it looks like, and then I'm going to show you how to create these pieces. So here is my blog page. Okay. So when you start publishing blogs with Podia, you would have basically this. And you can control the layout of how these cards look. If you want the images a certain height, you want a border, no border, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. But you would have this. It would just be standard, and you would have to add whatever information you want to go above and below. So in my case, I have a little welcome message and a link to schedule a free coffee chat with me or request a blog topic. So that will open an email to send to me. And then I've created this articles by category. So once you create categories for your blogs, and I will show you where to get this link, you can get a link to each category so that if I clicked, for example, magic and intuition, it would take me to this page, which is only the articles that I have said are in that category. So this is something that perhaps it will be out of the box easier to edit in the future, but I'm going to show you a really quick way to make sure that these always show up. And you can add this to this page, your blog index, or what I call like your blog listing page, all the blogs, and the individual post as well. So I'll show you how to get to that. So again, I have at this top this little welcome section, articles by category, and then it's showing you my recent articles here. And then I also have right above where it has vision, this is my footer, but right above my footer, I have this bar that I put on all of my subpages now as well, which is a really great way if you have a whole bunch of links that you need to feature and you don't want to remember to put them in the text of each page or article, you might consider having a section like this. So in my case, I have this ways to work with me. So I'm internally linking back to other services that I provide and my favorite tools, which are in most cases affiliate links as well. So definitely a great way to drive some traffic there. And then the blog page itself, let's click into one from today so you can see that. So you can also customize the layout of what this page looks like. Now keep in mind that whatever layout you apply to one blog, it's all of them. So you want to make sure it's something consistent, not just that relates only to that article. So I've got a banner that I've put up here that kind of fades into this semi-transparent white. I've chosen, this is the inset layout, so that the card overlaps whatever I have as my featured image. And then here is my post, and then you'll see again below I have this. Now I don't have the categories listed on this page, that's only on the index, but I could put them there if I want, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go over into my site editor, and by default when you click edit site, you're going to end up on your home page. So what you want to do is click in the top left, and you're gonna go to, here's all of the insane amount of pages we have. Some of these are templates, so don't think you have to have 30 pages on your Podia site. And right here where it says blog, you have 3 choices here. You have index, category, and post. So the index is the one I'm gonna show you first, which is this one right here, your main listing page. That is your index. So that's the one that we are going to click and edit. So I am in there now, and what will show up is this. So this posts thing will be here first. So I can control the layout of this, and I can click in, maybe I want to change this to say latest articles. You can have more text up here if you want to. I don't, I just have the title. And then you decide, let me move my camera over, you decide which pieces you want to pull in here. So do you want the featured image on or off, for example? If you don't always add a featured image or your style is a lot more minimalistic, you might want to toggle that off. We always add one, or sometimes my team will go back and add them for me if I forgot. So featured image we leave on. The date, subjective, I suppose, if you want to have this there. We are in a season where we are blogging a lot more than we typically have in the past, so we're leaving the date on because it's always fresh when someone goes here. But if you're someone who has a small bundle of articles and you don't blog very often and you don't want the post to become dated quickly, turn that toggle off, and then they can't see that on your listing page. Same thing if you want your author turned on or off. I have mine on. If the team is logged in and creating posts, sometimes you will see it attributed to them, but you can change the author as well. And if you want to show what category it's in, so I'm going to show you how to add your categories in a second. Comment count I have turned off because I rarely get comments on my blog, so it looks weird to show 0 comments. If all of a sudden I was getting a whole bunch, I might turn that on, but for now it's off. And you can decide if you want the excerpt on or off as well. So you can see in some cases I do have the excerpt and some cases I don't. And it's funny because actually the ones that my team have helped written have the proper formatting and the ones I have written don't have the proper formatting. So in this case, on this listing page, I'm actually going to turn them off so that it's all consistent. And then of course you can choose if you want your button or not. And I'm leaving mine on. You can change what the button says as well. So it could just be, you could have read, for example. Okay. Now on the design side, you can control pretty much the same controls you have on any other section on your site. So you can control the aspect ratio of the photo. Most of my photos look better when they're square, so we're gonna make that square. Now the width, this is the width of the image. However, I have this, my favorite layout is this split for blogs anyways, is this split card view. So this width doesn't matter because it's gonna stretch to the full width of this box. If I had it on card, for example, then I can choose, right? See how I'm switching width and it's switching up here. But I prefer the split layout. And if you want the same style, you want split layout, and then where it says media, you want top center. That's how you get this style. And then of course you can play around with your theme colors, how you typically would, your shadows, and then your card collection height, you can decide if you want them different or, so if I had unique, it would be like this. I don't like that. I like them to all be the same. So I'm going to change that to unified card heights. There you go. Okay. So that's how to control the styling of this section. Now, what if you want to add something above or below? Same way as you would in any other page of your website editor. So this section I have added, this is just a text section, and I've put it inside of a card, and this is for my welcome section. So anything you want to add that's really relevant for the top of the page you want to draw attention to when someone hits your main blog index, that's what you're going to put here. But what you're probably here for is this piece, the articles by category. So there's definitely a couple of ways that you can do this. You can have buttons, you can have images, you can have like a side-by-side card layout, but I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this quickly. But what you need first is the links to your categories. So I'm going to go over into my main area. I'm going to go to blog categories. Okay, so if you do not have any categories yet, you are going to click new category. You can name this, I'm just going to call this test. Once you have a category, that means you can assign blog posts to it. So we had a number of blog posts already in here before categories was released, so we went back and added them, but I'm just going to show you for argument's sake how to get the link. So once you have that category, these 3 dots beside it, you can rename it or grab the settings. So if I click on page settings, Podia is going to give me this crazy long link, and I'm just going to rename it to whatever I've named the category. Now I have this link, emptydesolutions.ca/blog/categories/test. This is the link I'm going to need in my website editor to add that piece. So I'm going to copy this onto my clipboard. I'm not going to worry about the SEO settings for the purpose of this demo. And then this, the way I've added with these buttons, I'll do a fresh one to show you. I'm using the links one, and it doesn't really matter which one you grab. I'm just going to grab this one, and then I can change this to say blog categories, and I'm going to control the styling after. I'm gonna get rid of, if you want an image, you can have an image, but I want it to just look like buttons, like this. So I'm going to remove the image, and where I have an option here for a link, that's where I'm going to paste in the category link that we just created. And then I'm going to name it whatever I want. This is what I want to show up on the button. And then I'm not going to use any of the text underneath. Now to make it look like this, like a button, I'm going to go one step back so I can see this test category here. I'm going to click on design. And in this case, I'll use a different theme just for fun. And then for style, you want card. And now you can see it looks like a button. Now I'm going to control as well how many columns I have, so that this will make more sense as well. So if I change this from rows, where it currently is, to columns, then I have this option, and I can say how many buttons do I want per column. So depending on how many you have, if you only had 4 categories, you could do 4 across. Of course, mobile, they're going to stack one on top of the other. I have a number of them. I have 7 right now, so I'm choosing three columns. It just kind of looks the best. But you can see if I go down here and I was to change that to 2 columns, it will immediately shuffle things around. If you have an odd number like this, it can look kind of funny, but 3 is what I am going with. So I could go back and I would do the same thing for any other categories I want to add. I'm going to click in. I'm removing the image because I don't want it in this case. And where it says link, I'm pasting that category link, which again is this. So I have my category, I click page settings, and I grab this link here. Okay, so in a nutshell, that is how you can add blog categories to your website. The other thing I will show quickly before I end today's tutorial is your blog page itself, editing that as well. So here we are, we were in the index, blog index, and now I'm going to edit the blog post. Now, if you have sections that you want to add to other pages, the easiest way to do that, rather than, I don't want to copy and paste these links again, I'm going to click on this row, and in the top where it says save a copy, this little ribbon, I'm going to call this blog categories. Save. Okay, so now if I want to go to my blog post design, so here's what that page looks like right now. So I've got a nice kind of banner at the top. I like the style of this. I'm not going to mess with any of this. But at the bottom, right between this section, ways to work with me and my favorite tools in the post, I'm going to add a section for those categories. I'm going to click saved sections. And then right here, this one I just saved, articles by category. There you go. Now it's here. I don't have to mess around with re-adding all of the buttons one by one. I hit publish, and that's it. So that is how to add the categories to both your index page or your listing page, your individual page, and how to get the category links. I hope this was helpful. If you are looking for any Podia help whatsoever, I will drop my consult link below. I would love to chat with you. Have an amazing day.